And there you have it, the 1986 Video Music Awards, with AHA stealing 8 astronauts, definitely making them the big winners this year. The VMA show was sponsored by Miller Lite Beer, by the Pepsi-Cola Company, by the Lee Company, and by Yugo. Well, from the Super Bowl of video music, we now go to the pinnacle of partying. We will hear from the professors of partying. They wrote the book on it. All this week, we're having reports on Van Halen from 2 to midnight Eastern. And as an added bonus tonight, we're getting a rockumentary on the band, a look at the guys off and on the stage from the recent 5150 tour. And we will be hearing from Michael, Alex, Eddie, and Sammy right after this.
Right now, it's an MTV feature presentation.
First leg of the last tour? I don't know. It was great. Lots of screaming, yelling, girls, booze. You're not going to play this for my wife, are you?
When we first pulled up, there was about 25 or 30 people out by the plane. I thought, this ain't so bad. But then we went around the corner, and there's 1,000 or so, or a couple thousand, or whatever it was. It's hard to tell. It looked like the whole airport was packed. I joined the Beatles instead of Van Halen for a second. I thought, no, he didn't know he had that many friends. Really. I turned and I said, Ringo?
They're the biggest heavy metal band in the world, without a doubt. No one can top them.
The new Van Halen is totally awesome.
We're band new.
Yeah, we're a new band that took an old name and just used it.
New Van Halen's bright compared to the old Van Halen. Who needs Simon Dave?
I think they're trying to prove that now that Dave's gone, that they can do just as good or better.
We're not out to really prove anything. It's like we're all musicians. There's no Vegas trip to it anymore.
This is the most incredible band on this planet. Everyone's playing is incredible. On stage, we're able to play any song we want, anytime. We had the same influences in the past. You know, when we say let's jam or something, any guy in this band can start playing a song, and all of us know it. Some old Cream tune, like, you know, like today we were jamming Politician, well, or some old Zeppelin tune or something.
Well, let's put it this way. I've never heard anybody play guitar like Ed. And Sammy compliments Ed, not only vocally, but also in the guitar. Musically, I think the band is completely expanded. Because Sammy plays guitar, it allows Ed to further pursue his interest in keyboards and whatever other musical directions he goes into.
Sammy, shut up, will you?
I can't.
5 or 10 minutes to get him in there.
I want to check the keyboard on Why Can't This Be Love.
All right. It's against my religion not to talk, though, so please.
Z.
Wait till they hear how loud my bass is.
You know, it's like you can't even compare to anything. You just say, yes, that is success. If you want to just measure it against chart success, concert success, we love the album. Everybody in this band, I mean, is just so proud of this record. That's success, you know. So it's completely successful. The four of us are working so great on stage. That's successful. it's all successful. And you know, whatever you're measuring against, or whatever your word for success is, your meaning of it.
All right, bring your win.
Billy's got a shut off. The first time we got together was like we've been together for years. It was incredible. You know, I don't mean to put a certain person down, but it's like there's no more limits, no more governor, you know. It's like just we can do anything we want.
Well, we had a toothache for about 11 years, and finally went to the dentist, had it extracted, and now we've got a crown with a gold cap on it.
I think they've really pulled off something incredible. When a primary member of a band leaves a rock and roll band, there's always speculation that the band can never be the same, and I think actually they've improved themselves.
When Dave quit the band, Alex, Mike, and I were just pretty devastated, really. We were just sitting there going, now what, you know? I mean, here we've worked with a guy for 11 years, so to speak, and he just kind of like took off.
We were just a little bit, no, we weren't a little bit. We were a lot pissed off. We just came off a major tour in 1984. It was the best-selling record we ever had. It went to #2 in Billboard. We had the first ever #1 single. Every place we played, we were sold out. And we were just itching to go and do the next record because Edward had written a lot of music. And Dave wanted to be a movie star. About the only thing that I can say that really ticked me off about the whole situation was that it was not told to us straight across the board.
Well, it wasn't the creative part of working with him. I think we made some great music together. And he was just living with the guy. He treated everybody like a little lower than him, including us in the band. And, you know, that's not the way a band works. And now with Sammy, we're a band. We're really a band. We're all equal. Nobody's the big cheese, so to speak. And what I could never figure out is why he was the big cheese, except for his attitude, you know? Because Al and I and Mike were, you know, basically the driving force, you know? But he was good at the mouth.
At that point, Ed and I really didn't know what the hell we wanted to do. People were calling Ed, Brian May, Pete Townsend, Phil Collins, a number of people, and we were not quite sure whether we wanted to do a all-star record, just different people on a different song, or whether it just remain Van Halen. Well, we flipped a coin, and we both won. We wanted to keep Van Halen, and that's the way it went. And then Sammy walked in, and that was it. in '77, when we first signed to Warner Brothers, the idea of having Sammy as a vocalist for Van Halen was tossed around. Not by the band, but by the powers that be. And we didn't find out about that until maybe 3 or 4 years after the fact. And it never materialized because of contractual differences, etc. But and here's my favorite term, as fate will have it.
One day, my Lamborghini broke down, and I ended up at Claudio's, you know, just sitting there shooting it. And he just got off the phone with Sammy. Sammy's car broke down too, you know. And Claudio goes, Ed, you seem a little depressed, you know. And I go, yeah, man, I'm bummed. Our singer just took off. And he goes, hey, why didn't you call Sammy? I just talked to Sammy. Why didn't you call Sammy? So I said, give me his number, man. I called him right there from his shop.
Well, the first time we got together was actually, believe it or not, we tried to have a business meeting, if you can believe that. I wanted to know what they wanted to do, what their schedule was. I was just getting ready to go in and do an album. In 2 weeks, I was starting my next album. So I was all ready. My band was rehearsed. My songs were written. So we had a sort of a business meeting for about 2 hours. I mean, it was like stupid. We didn't even get anything said. We didn't get anywhere. Finally, thank God, Eddie says, well, let's just jam something. So they'd gotten together all night and jammed some couple songs, just some music, some pieces of Summer Nights and pieces of Good Enough, just the riff. So we went in there and I just sang. First time, they just started playing Summer Nights and I just was scatting around through the verses and I sang Summer Nights.
And right off the bat, Sammy just came up with a melody, lyrics, everything. I mean, I was going, where's this guy from, you know? It blew me away. Don Landy was just going, you know, jaws dropped. You know, and I remember Don pushed the talkback switch, you know, in the middle of one, and he goes, I think you guys, you know, got a new band happening here.
Scariest I've ever been on stage, besides the first gig with Montrose, which was my first concert, you know, big concert, was the first Van Halen show. I had butterflies. I was a nervous wreck. I was pacing. I was sweating before I walked out from not warming up, just from tension. I was really, really nervous. My manager did a crazy thing to us. Well, our manager. He booked us in Shreveport, Louisiana, a town, maybe one of 3 towns in the United States that I've never played because I never had airplay in it. So he starts a tour there, right, where I'm like, Sammy who, you know?
The audiences everywhere, including the very first show in Shreveport, everyone just went, we love you. You know, it was great.
30 seconds into the first song, I got hit with about 20 big giant banners rolled up. So I start unrolling them, looking at them. David Lee Who, you know, some other rude statements. And it really, you know, I can honestly say it encouraged me.
They accepted Sammy like he was with us. You know, it's like nobody even cared about Dave, you know? It's like, yeah, Sammy, you know.
I didn't want to change the band when I came in. I just wanted to be the singer in it and you know, work my way in to the point where we didn't lose anything that they already had. And in this band, for instance, I don't ever present the start of a song to this band intentionally. I mean, I had 15 songs for my album that I was supposed to do, but I didn't present one of them to this band because I really think that the band should remain the musical spring, which is really Eddie. It should remain that, and that way it'll remain Van Halen.
And I write all of the music for the band, and then I present it to the guys, and they either like it or they go, you know, get that away from me, you know. But I was lucky this last record, they liked everything I wrote. I write just about everything on keyboards. I guess it's kind of tough when you write something on piano because it ends up being pretty melodic, you know, kind of Elton John-ish or whatever.
And Alex and Michael contributed a lot to this band. Like Alex, when he starts playing drums, you know, on a song like Dreams, or even Love Walks In, the intro, it sounds like it's going to be some semi-mellow kind of cutesy pie little riff or something, and then Alex comes in playing drums, and he turns it into, you know, a crash, boom, bam rocker. Michael, the thing that he adds to the band a lot of people don't see is the real high background harmonies. It's great. There's just some kind of magic there. And I've always had that attitude too. This band is really there. We just start jamming something, some riff, guitar riff, make a song out of it. A lot of times we write together, you know, like that, you know, to where we just kind of do it and carve it out as it's going. And then I'm always the one that gets stuck with having to write the lyrics.
The new stuff, when I heard it first, I was like, this is different stuff, you know, because they talk about dreams a lot, and you're thinking, you know, people now, like I'm a senior, you know, and, you know, we're thinking about the future a lot, and it's sort of like in tune to the kids nowadays that, you know, they have a lot of problems thinking about their future life and on. It's quality stuff.
I just write a lyric that I feel from my heart, because I got to sing it.
So baby, say all the tears you cry. Oh, that's what dreams are made of. 'Cause we belong in a world that must be strong. Oh, that's what my dreams are made of.
I wasn't nervous at all starting 5150. See, Ted Templeman was actually supposed to produce, but then like a week before we were going in the studio, he calls us and he goes, sorry guys, I'm committed to Dave. No, you know, sorry Ted, but, you know, I was actually happy because I really wanted to do it ourselves.
From the day I walked into the studio with these guys and we started making music, there were no doubts in any of our minds. And all these other people that we were keeping away from the studio, all the record company people and a lot of press people who come and interview us, but they couldn't really hear any music. You know, they all had their doubts. You could read it right in their eyes. Like, oh, I don't know, you know, it's a big move. You know, without Dave, you know, Van Halen might not be nothing, you know. And we were just smiling, you know, our confidence level was so high because, you know, we were writing this material that came out on this album. And we were hearing it every day. And we're going, whoa, this is great. You know, can you imagine when this stuff comes out, you know? And sure enough, it worked.
Hello, baby.
5150 being our first album that we basically did completely by ourselves, and it going #1, of course, is an incredible feeling. You know, very satisfying. Feels better than anything I can imagine outside of sex. I think my writing's gotten a lot better because I'm not under the pressure of, can I do this? Can I, please? I was never really allowed to play keyboards because a certain person said, hey, you're a guitar hero, man. Nobody wants to see you play keyboards, I'm a musician, basically, and if I write something on a saxophone, I'll play it. Al always tells me this, and I guess it's true, that no matter what instrument I play, it always has an edge to it. So even when I play keyboards and Al and Mike launch in, it still sounds like Van Halen no matter what. Take it or leave it, for better or worse, it sounds like us. Actually, I started out playing drums, and I had a paper out to pay for, it's like $125 Japanese drum kit, and while I was out delivering the papers to pay for the kit, Al was playing my drums.
He says, okay, you're gonna play my drums, I'll play your guitar.
And at the time, he was taking Spanish guitar lessons, so I took his guitar.
And he played a piece of music that I'd been practicing for hours on end, and he had it just like that.
Yeah, it just seemed to come natural, because I've been playing piano for years, so the fingers were limber, or whatever. It was pretty easy. I never had guitar lessons. I just kind of picked it up. Maybe that's why I do some of the weird stuff that I do. I play a little different than most people, doing the finger stuff on the fingerboard, or whatever. Nobody really did it until I did. Now everyone does it.
He's never approached the instrument like the average person would do.
He's changed the guitar just like Hendrix did a long time ago, but he's taken it a lot further.
No one else jumps around like Eddie does,
He's the greatest rock and roll guitarist ever.
He's the fastest, and he just does wizardry with the guitar.
He jams! He jams! Without his Van Halen jams!
Is there another beer?
I think Edward's an alien, if you want to know the truth. Edward's an alien. He's not from this planet. I couldn't tell you which planet, but everyone on the planet probably plays guitar.
I don't think I've ever seen Ed without a guitar strapped around him. Now, I don't normally take showers with him, so I don't know what he does in the shower. But I'm serious. He plays guitar from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to sleep.
Whenever you do something by the book, it's like you can't do anything outside of the book. So how's anyone supposed to come up with anything new if they go by that old book? So I guess I'm kind of writing my own book, or trying to anyway.
Ed and I were in a very unique situation because we immigrated to America when we were about 8 years old. Neither one of us knew the language, so we ended up being really close friends, aside from the fact that we had a mutual interest, which was beating the out of each other.
Thank God he started playing drums because he used to beat me.
My father was a professional musician, and Ed and I trained on piano for about 10 years to become professional concert pianists. And then the Beatles came along.
We used to listen to Dave Clark 5 records and eat on ice cream cartons and have cut out paper guitars and stuff. And, it's always what we wanted to do. When my father used to play, we'd be like the intermission band. Al would play drums and I'd play guitar, or Al would play piano and I'd play drums.
When I first started playing drums, I admired Ginger Baker, John Bonham, Keith Moon. And I approached the drums not as an instrument per se, but more an attitude. viciously attacking something. I don't think I've gone through a single show where there has not at least been 2 or 3 broken heads, a couple broken cymbals. I use the largest sticks, the heaviest and biggest sticks you can get. They're like baseball bats.
Alex is the craziest person I've ever met in this business, and I'm not burning on him, and I'm not trying to make him, out something he isn't. True life, the man is mad. He is nuts.
We were staying at a hotel, and they were converting it, and there were a number of tires lying around. In the middle of the night, I decided, why not set fire to the tires? You ever seen rubber burn? It gets the air putrid, all kinds of stuff comes floating around. So I'm sitting there with a match trying to light a tire on fire. I mean, it was useless to begin with. But anyway, what made it even more useless was there was a policeman who I didn't see, and he had his gun drawn on me. He says, "What are you doing?"
When you make a living beating things with a stick, what do you expect?
when Al starts falling asleep at the drums, I'm basically just holding the solid beat down, you know. I keep it all together. I'm the steady part of the band here. Just I got to take another sip off my drink. When I play solo, I'm almost cut off from the people. I can't hear anybody cheering or yelling or whatever. Actually, I'm going through a lot of excruciating pain when I'm rolling around on stage and stuff like that. But I like that. See, that's why I'm in this business. To hurt people and hurt myself. People from MTV wanted me to, like, give you a little behind the scenes, so to speak, of what happens on stage right, the bass side. I think the most fascinating part is the bass workbox. Okay, here we go. What the hell are all these things doing in here? Now, see? Now, there's one thing I got to tell you right here, real quick. A full box of picks, right? Wrong, see? I know the guy who works for me. Look at this, look at this, look at this. 2 layers, and look at that, look at that. Towels, you know? Did you buy any picks today? Yeah, the full box, okay? Yeah, get out of here, all right. My favorite drawer. I bet you can't guess what drawer this is.
How much do you drink, you think?
He's immune to this
Well,
stuff. It doesn't matter.
At least 1 bottle of Jack, right?
One day I noticed a fly landed on my arm.
And it wouldn't get off, would it?
I started my chronograph watch here, and I think he lasted about 2.5 seconds. He rolled over dead. I'm what's known as a Tennessee squire in Tennessee. I own a piece of land at the distillery. I drink massive amounts of Jack. I drink massive amounts. See, they know, right? Jack Daniels, right? They know. Anyway, we just built this one out of spare parts that we had laying around, and it turned out real good. And I used it on stage. Sounds great, no problem, you know. The man drinks it, the man plays it. It's a lifestyle, like Van Halen, you know. They called me the pint-sized whiskey-sipping bass player. He's very melodic when he's not banging his bass on stage like a metal detector.
Here's where Sammy gets dressed. Here's where I get dressed. That's where Alex gets. Oh, Mikey gets Mikey. This is where Al gets dressed.
Basically, what we do before we go on in the tune-up room, we all 4 just get together and just total geek out, you know, just to mentally prepare ourselves for what we're walking into.
What do you want? It is like one big goofy situation, you know. Every time we get around each other, it turns into totally Bocephus mode. Yeah, we hit Bocephus mode.
Yo, Bocephus hat. Son of a sitch. Oh, man, this is great. You got to try one of these on, man. It makes you have a completely different perspective on the way you look at life.
Hank Williams Jr., his nickname is Bocephus. And the man really knows how to party down, right? And so we kind of just go into Bocephus mode before a show, you know?
Bocephus rules and knows all!
But I'm not talking wild, disgusting acts of human behavior. We do get wild, we get crazy.
Let me do my elephant for you, okay? Ah, man. Okay, wait. Here's my horse, all right? Whoa, trigger. I thought you was Dale.
Then I gotta put my headset mic on to make everything, so that I can be the crazy mofo that I am. I'm a grown man, you know, that my brain never developed past like maybe 15.
Come on, Leonard. Come on back. Where's he running to? Where's he going? Come on back, Sir Ray.
We're adults that never grew up.
We're mature male adults.
I like my mom, but she's not home. She's
The first leg of the tour, every night we played Addicted to Love about 45 times in a row. So finally, actually, the last few shows, we blew the speakers. Everybody's dancing and, you know, air guitaring and kicking around and stretching and rocking and throwing stuff. And next thing you know, somebody says, "Let's go!" And we go, "Yeah!"
Gonna have to face it, you're addicted to love. Hey, for God, let's get silly out there. Let's get completely silly.
You may just carry from here straight on out. You may just do the same thing we've been doing. Okay,
Except more so. Let's do it. Hey!
To be honest, God, truth, every night when I set foot on stage, that those 2-3 minutes right before we go on, I always get chills a little bit.
The most important thing to me is when you step on stage, you're live. And if you blow it, it's your last chance. You leave town the next day, and there's 15,000 people there saying they stunk.
But the moment you see the audience and they're rooting and they're hollering and they're screaming and they're throwing beer cans all over the place and we're throwing them back, all of a sudden just your energy level increases 1,000-fold.
Sometimes it just ain't enough. Sometimes it just ain't enough. 'Cause I've got to have it all. I've got to have it all. I want it all. And I want it now. 'Cause something reached out and touched me. You know, now I know what I want. I want the best life.
comes to going on stage, you know, that's where we owe the audience, the people that put down money to see us. We owe them a great show, and everyone in this band is extremely responsible in that sense.
When we have to, we deliver.
When you get up on stage at 130-degree heat and you really don't know what's going to happen, the unpredictability of it is shared by the four of us on stage.
One night we got like 77 female undergarments.
Yeah, Sammy
Going on
mentioned something
stage
like
one
we were
night.
going to have a yard sale the next day.
We had the microphone stands all lined with them. We had anywhere they could be hung. They were all over the stage.
What's the wildest thing you guys have seen at a Van Halen show?
Oh, the match. The match.
Yeah, and the chick on the guy's shoulder, you know. Oh, that's right.
I swear to God, this chick got on her boyfriend's shoulders and lifted up her dress, wearing nothing, you know, winking at us. And I swear to God, we were playing good enough.
Yeah, that's right.
And I couldn't sing, man. I was just laughing,
And
rolling.
the problem is that I took a look and I didn't recognize anything. It took me a couple minutes. And all of a sudden I went, wow, that's a weird-looking guy.
It's just pure music, and I think, you know, that to me is a little classier than ripping the kids off doing some clown show. You know, it's just more down to earth now, and I think kids pick up on that, and I think the music's better too. I don't think about the past at all. I mean, this is what we're doing now, and I mean, the past had its good moments too, but this is like good moment every moment. The future of Van Halen is just going to be, you know, I mean, we are in this for life. We're just going to continue on, you know, making the best possible music we can. And hopefully the fans will like everything we do. Just blaze on. If I hit 80, if I make it that far, I'll still be doing the same thing. I might not be jumping. I might be sitting on a stool, but I'll still be making music. What makes us different than any other band? We're Van Halen.
Yeah, that's right. I have to say that's it, because there's no really describing it. That's like an elusive element that separates bands.
Look at these three guys, man. There ain't no other three humans like these guys.
Yeah, and much less him.